the deeply disturbing warnings from medical workers as hospitals ration masks.
Italy, the current centre of the pandemic, 743 people have died in the last 24 hours.
The number of people who died from coronavirus in Italy has now overtaken the figure.
Although there are already more than 7,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus.
Another rise in deaths.
Meanwhile, another drug trial starts tomorrow, taking plasma from people who've had the virus, removing the antibodies, then injecting those antibodies into a sick patient.
Today we're bringing it to 100% of the workforce must stay home.
I think, with thinking back with COVID hitting, it was an interesting time, not only for myself, but the whole team. It's hard to articulate sometimes, and I think since we're still going through it, we're gonna still have a hard time articulating what exactly happened. But when I think back, it's just thinking about, unexpected changes, people in crisis, people trying just to understand what exactly is going on. I'm just thinking about all the anxiety that was surrounding us.
Internally, there was definitely that battle of I am anxious. All of a sudden it's a thing. It went from being nothing to a thing overnight. I think the widespread societal fear, the panic, people were jumping the curb to get into the Costco parking lot. And it freaks you out, so it scared me, and there was that internal battle of I'm anxious, but I don't want to be anxious because I know that I need to do something here, and I can't just shut down because everybody else is.
I found I struggled a lot. I think I tried to stay positive the first couple weeks, the first month even, but at some point I just hit a wall. I couldn't function properly. I wasn't eating as much. I wasn't talking to my friends as much. It was a really tough season.
For the first week, I was pretty okay with it, and then after that, it was just every day, all day in my room, playing video games. Pretty much it. I was not too happy about it.
It was difficult, obviously. Adapting to online schooling and not being able to leave my house and stuff. It was more of a mental game. So yeah, it was hard. It was harder, definitely harder.
I was very scared and worried about my safety, worried about all my friends and family, and I just basically wanted to stay home.
I was stuck at home doing nothing. My brain was doing nothing. I was idle. I was stuck.
It's that learning curve that we're on in life, just trying to learn alongside other people in the community. We get so stressed about trying to be experts in life, and do we have the right answers, and do we have these answers that we can provide the kids that are so miraculous that it's going to be life-changing for them. Taking us back to the simplicity of just prayer with these kids, and telling them that they have potential, that they need to keep just reaching out. When we don't have the building and you're stuck. It's not stuck, but you're stuck in your house and you're on a computer every day. And you're is this how we are going to be able to engage with kids?
I struggled because it was hard not being able to see friends or anybody technically. But as soon as the Zoom call started for YFC London, It was really good for everybody, I think, because it actually gave you communication with people.
It was actually really good, like the way Jared handled it. It was great. We would all just get on for like an hour and a half, an hour-ish, and we'd just talk about what was going on with our life. I was just going to the skate park every single day from like first thing in the morning until the sunset. And one day Jared ended up showing up and he told me about like a YOU program about like how I just do some online training and then I could work here. So I signed up and I did it. I got to skateboard, I got paid for it, and got to help get other people into skateboarding, which really makes me happy. I remember the first day that we had, like that I helped with a lesson. Jared kind of gave me a rundown and I just helped out, and all the kids were really nice to me. Like they seemed like they actually genuinely seemed excited to learn.
It was a challenge, and it was like there was a lot of uncertainty. Like I didn't know if people were going to show up because I didn't know if people were going to be just wanting to stay home and stay away from people and stuff. So like even that was just, I had no idea. But the response was huge. Like I saw that parents really wanted their children to get out and do stuff and be with community. It wasn't just like there's a whole bunch of other programs that they're at going on. It was like this was sort of one of the programs that they could go to at this time because everything else was shut down. And so like it just made more emphasis on how important our little community was.
When Zoom started, when coach and like the other team companies coaches started it, it was a good thing for like the team, like my teammates and other players who wanted to join, because it was like a way to communicate with our teammates. And like we also got to interact with like D1 coaches. We got to talk to like Found Maker, his coach, and like his cousin, I think. And it was like that was really cool for us because we've never done that kind of stuff before. So like Zoom was like a big help for like my quarantine and stuff like that.
Zoom calls were fun because we like played games, we shared stories, we read books, talked about our experiences and stuff. So it really helped out with the mental like standpoint of the quarantine and stuff.
For Owen, I know it was interesting just being able to listen and understand a bit more about how his teammates and coaches and how a lot of different people see the world in different ways and get treated in different ways, and really helped open his eyes. And it was a great experience for him, honestly. So.
The online training, which was very beneficial, and then it moved on to once the regulations allowed some actual training on the outdoor courts. And boy, you could just see Fraser's and all the boys actually. They're just so happy to be out there again.
Despite like all of that uncertainty, Jesus sits with us in that. And then it just becomes a little less scary. We just need youth to know that they are loved and that they can keep going and moving forward.